Here we are. I was talking. Isn't that something? Welcome back. Here we are in the interview area. I have the Cardinal family here from West Salem. Welcome, family.
Hello.
It's good to see you guys. I have Liz and Matt. Of course, Dad isn't going to say anything, he said. And then Liz said, you know what, he's probably going to talk anyway. So we have the mic available just in case. Thank you for spending some time with us. You came through the raindrops today. And before we even get started with you guys, guess how many calls have already come in for your family?
We have no idea how many.
5.
Yay!
Five calls already. Woo! The Blood Center of Wisconsin at 784 KIDS. That's our phone bank. And we have RE/MAX folks answering the phones for us and doing a great job. And, of course, the star of the show today.
Taryn.
Who
it's Taryn's
is
birthday today. She just turned 3.
Today.
Yay!
She is so happy about the fact that it's her birthday today.
She is very excited for her birthday, but she's always had a huge personality, so.
When was her birthday supposed to be?
She was due February 6th.
Okay, February 6th. This is October.
Mm-hmm.
Take that in. Take that in. We're supposed to be having a after Valentine baby.
Right.
And we have an October baby.
Yep.
Okay, so take us back. You were headed to work.
The day before I had Taryn, I felt weird. I felt off. So I went in to the doctor and they told me everything was fine and to keep my normal appointment with my OB. And then the next morning, I was headed into work, and I had my AC on full blast in my car. I couldn't catch my breath. I was really, sweaty, which is gross. But in October, you shouldn't be sweating.
Right, but you're on your way to work.
Yep.
Because you don't want to miss work.
Yep, because
right.
Everything was fine.
Okay.
And so I was working for about 3 hours before I was finally like, I can't take this anymore. And so went into work, called Matt on my way in, said, I'm going to go in, I'm going to get checked. And he was, you're crazy. You're insane.
Did he think you were just...
He thought I was being dramatic.
Okay.
It was all in my head. Exactly what he said. It's all in your head. You're being crazy.
Do you regret saying that now, Dad?
I've spent the last 3 years eating those words, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So your advice to new dads-to-be would be...
Always trust your spouse. She clearly knows her body better than I ever could, so...
Okay, let's just move on. We won't make him have to go through that anymore.
Right.
Okay? All right.
So I called him about 20 minutes later and said, I'm dilated to 7. They're sending me to labor and delivery. You need to get here. And he goes, but you're not due until February. And I'm like, yep. And he hung up on me. He beat me to labor and delivery from his work, from me being here in the clinic, all the way over to labor and delivery. He beat me there. He got there before I did.
Did you obey all the traffic laws on the way here? No. Okay. All right.
Not even a little bit.
Okay.
So from the time I checked in at the clinic to the time she was born was only 61 minutes. So I mean, it happened.
Oh my gosh.
It happened really fast.
And I would imagine who would be prepared and have a fully stocked nursery at 24 weeks.
No, we spent 98 days in the NICU here at Gunderson.
98 days.
Yep.
So that's over 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we spent our first Halloween here, our first Thanksgiving, first Christmas, first New Year's, all here with the Gunderson family.
So when she was born, what
16
happened?
weeks early. So she did, for being, they always said in the NICU, she's not acting like a micro-preemie. She's not acting like a preemie. So there was one spot that really got rough and we almost lost her. But while we were in the NICU, we lived about 45 minutes away and we had the 2 kids at home. So CMN helped us with gas cards, with the food vouchers. I mean, they were super supportive while we were here. And then when we finally got discharged, we were home for, about 2 weeks? Right around her due date, she ended up having to have her first surgery on her eyes because she has what's called retinopathy of prematurity. It's where the blood vessels in her eyes, instead of growing out and around like they were supposed to, were growing in and pulling on her retinas, threatening to detach her retinas and make her blind.
That's a medical term that I've never heard. I bet you learned some terms that you had never heard of before, too. And I bet it's like part of a vocabulary in your house.
It is, yep. ROP is the nickname for it. So then the first surgery didn't work. So then she had to have another surgery. She had laser surgery. And then, I mean, it's just been one after the other, complication after complication with her eyes. So she has a prescription of plus 38 in one eye and plus 41 in the other eye. So
Tell you what, while we've been talking, it's almost going to make me cry. We had a $500 donation that came in while you guys are sitting here. I have no idea how many calls have come in, John, because that totally took me. We have six calls that have come in too. So the calls are coming in. A wonderful $500 pledge. Doesn't that just...
that's incredible.
You know, that is going to do a lot of work and a lot of help for families. So, all right, so we've got the prescriptions figured out now for her eyes.
Right, yep. So when we first started this journey with her eyes, they wanted us to do contacts, and contacts are not covered by insurance because they don't consider them a medical necessity, and they're $200 sometimes per lens with her high of a prescription, and we were going through 1 to 2 a week.
Yeah.
$8,000 in contacts the first year.
Yeah.
And Children's Miracle Network stepped in then and gave us a $1,500 grant to help us purchase contacts that year. And then we decided we couldn't keep doing that financially. It was ruining us. And so we asked if we could switch to glasses. We were told she would never be able to have her full prescription. They would have to be plastic lenses. We actually brought her old glasses with us to show you.
Or I'd like to see them.
So do you see how thick those lenses are?
Yeah. Can you guys see that? Can you see those? Can you see the lenses? Can you guys? And they're heavy.
And they're heavy, and
They're
they
heavy.
slide down her nose, and you saw the ear contraptions to hold them behind her ears, and we would have to pull the strap tight. And she has a sensory processing disorder, so those were up against her eyelashes, and she
It
didn't.
almost looked like there was a bubble over the lenses. For those who are
Yep.
listening on the radio, there was like a bubble over the lenses, like a bubble pack. You know,
An egg yolk.
like
They
an
call
egg
them like
yolk,
an egg yolk.
but
Yep.
heavy.
Yep.
And so you're putting those glasses on
That tiny little face.
that tiny little face.
And expecting her to be okay with it, especially with the sensory processing disorder where her eyelashes are touching those lenses. So every time her eyelashes would touch the lens, she would take the glasses and throw them.
She just was not able to be able to leave those on comfortably.
Nope, it just didn't work. And so I'm a little bit of an advocate for my kids. I don't take no for an answer.
Well, you're a mom.
I am. It's
That's right.
you know, and so I have a lot of Facebook support groups that I belong to, and in one of them I kind of piped in. I said, they're telling me that this is what we have. She'll never be able to have sunglasses. It'll always have to be these crazy huge lenses. Like, I don't accept this for her. Who can help me? And so this wonderful woman stepped up and said, I have these 2 fantastic labs. I'm going to pit them against each other, and we'll see what they can come up with. And so the glasses you see that she's wearing right now are compliments of Children's Miracle Network. She got 3 pairs. Just the lenses alone in these glasses are $1,500.
Oh my goodness.
These are kind of her everyday rough.
Mhm.
They're scratched up because she messes them up every day. But look at what she has
She has sunglasses
in her full prescription.
in her full prescription, and you were told
And
that
look
that
at-
wouldn't happen.
And do you see how thin these
And
lenses
they are very, very much thinner than the other ones in comparison. Now she has her sunglasses to protect her eyes, and you were told that that wasn't an option.
Right.
So Mom dug her heels in,
Mhm.
and you got your hackles up, and look what happened.
It was fantastic.
You
and
ended up with a support group.
Right. We wouldn't have been able to do this without CMN because, I mean, $1,500 just for the lenses. These frames are $200 a piece just for the frames. I mean, that's with a
You know,
family.
and you know, when you look at these,
Mhm.
they look like something that would be over in the toy department.
And
you
how
know-
many times have you seen her take them off?
She's left them on the whole time.
She loves these glasses. The first thing she does in the morning is she gets up and she goes and she puts them on her face. And if they're dirty, she brings them to us and asks us to clean them. Like, and she's only 3. I mean, she's everything she's gone through. I wasn't going to let vision be the one thing that stopped her from doing whatever she wanted to do.
Well, and you know, I mean, if you could be with us here and watch her running around, clearly nothing is stopping her
No.
on her
Nope.
3rd birthday.
Right.
Well, you know, I got to tell you, your story today is just got off to an incredible start. You guys were surprised by everything happening in your life. You took it head on, and look at what's happened. You're
Right.
feeling pretty good about where things are?
Yes. I mean, her eyes have finally stabilized, but as always with babies like this, they throw things at you. So as soon as we got her eyes stabilized, we got to go from every 3 months, seeing her ophthalmologist every 6 months now, which is exciting. And then only her having to go in surgery once a year for the check on her eyes to see how those are progressing, to now her kidneys are starting to act up. So we're crossing fingers that she grows out of the issue she's having with her kidneys. But right now she has to be on antibiotics on a daily basis for the next 2 years.
For 2 years. She has
Yep.
to be on antibiotics for 2 years.
Every day.
You know, when we go in with a sinus infection or whatever we may have, they give you 10 days or 2 weeks of antibiotics. So this is 2 years. So how does she take her meds? Is she okay with that,
Oh,
or is that
she's
a struggle?
She's amazing with it. We just say, Taryn, it's time for your medicine. And she comes up and opens up her mouth like a little baby bird, and you just syringe it right into her mouth. So
You know,
she's awesome.
We were sharing some stories yesterday of some babies that don't take their medicine real well. And we were talking to one of the ped nurses, and she said, we have so many tricks up our sleeve to help kids. Chocolate sauce was one of them. They would mix the antibiotics with chocolate sauce. I mean, you do what you have to do to get the kids to take the medicine. So what's next?
So now we just cross our fingers, hope that her eyes stay stable, and that she's not only did she have retinopathy of prematurity, she's what they call a phakic, which means she has no natural lenses in her eyes because she ended up with cataracts due to complications from a surgery. So she has no natural lenses in her eyes. And so she's had to have surgeries after those lenses were removed because she had scar tissue coming up and impeding her vision. So I mean, it's always just a little, you know, on edge every time we go see the doctor, to cross fingers and hope we don't have to go back into surgery again.
How does Taryn do when it's time to go to the doctor?
Dr. Nash is her ophthalmologist here at Gunderson. He is fantastic. He sits and he plays with her.
Do you think
and
that's her favorite?
Oh, she loves going to see Dr. Nash. I mean, there's other times where she's like, no. When there's certain places she just no, and she puts her hands up and all done. She's all done, but Dr. Nash, she always likes to come see, and she's in weekly occupational therapy and physical therapy here too, so it's always fun that she gets to come and do PT and OT. She loves playing with the gals
And
here.
she's good with that?
Mm-hmm.
And you think that's helpful? That's helping out?
Absolutely. Ever since she got the new glasses, she's completely blossomed. She used to be afraid to walk outside because she has no depth perception. She thinks shadows are holes in the ground, and so between PTOT and the new glasses, we can actually go for walks without her crying or being scared or upset. And I mean, you see how friendly she is now.
Oh, yeah. She's playing with Heather right now. They're having a big time over there.
Yep.
So it's probably opened up some new doors for you guys, because I bet there was a lot of things you guys weren't able to do comfortably. I mean, if you can't go out for walks.
It was hard. I mean, I felt like we always had to pawn her off on somebody if we wanted to do something as a family. Like, she doesn't do well in big crowds still. But so, like, every time we wanted to go somewhere, we had to find a babysitter. And then it never felt like we were doing things as a family because it wasn't always all of us. And with, you know, being a preemie, she had a very low immune system the first couple of years while her lungs were still developing and trying to get over all the scar tissue. So now that we can take her more places, Moon Tunes down at Riverside, she loves music. So Moon Tunes is one of her favorite places to go now. And that's a pretty big thing.
It is a big thing. You know, it's an outdoor event, and she must not be afraid of shadows anymore. So our phones, what we'd like to do is continue to have the calls come in. It's 608-784-KIDS, 5437. The RE/MAX team is with us until about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So we want to keep them busier. What would you say to somebody who's making the decision to call up and to do a pledge? If they're on the fence and they're waffling over it, what would you say to them?
Children's Miracle Network has given my daughter the ability to have the best vision possible. We couldn't have done it ourselves. Like, we wouldn't have been able to afford it. So if you're on the fence, just donate. I'm sure it's tax deductible. Just do it. Help these little kids be the best thems they can be.
I think that pretty much says it all. I think that's great. You guys, you packed everybody up. You came down here today and spent part of your day. We can't thank you enough for that, because I feel like I really know you guys now. Will you come back and keep us updated and let us know what's happening?
Absolutely.
Because we want to know.
Can I just say one quick thing before you go off?
You can say, absolutely.
That $500 donation is amazing. I am so thankful. I told you no. Before we left the house, he had said, if somebody calls in and donates $500, if we say that in the beginning, he goes, I will shave my beard live. And I'm like, you are not shaving your beard. So I am so, while I am happy somebody donated $500, I am so grateful I did not take that bet.
And we had no idea about that.
No.
We had no idea. So does he get to keep it?
I would cry if he shaved his beautiful beard.
You better leave it alone. Well, you're a smart man because you learned about the whole thing when you told your wife she wasn't in labor. Yeah.
Like I said before, you don't really think about the things that come out of your mouth, and I've learned, and you have to listen, and you have to trust, and not everybody in this world can do everything on their own, and that's what makes this such an incredible organization, is you don't have to be alone. There's people out there that truly care and that want you to succeed and want your children to have the best possible for them, and that's really the important part of today. If you're on the fence, waiting to make a donation, my advice is think about all the other people out there who maybe can't make that decision, and you can be that help. You can be that person.
You're a wise dad. You're a wonderful family. Thanks for spending some time with us. Thank you. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital Radiothon, a service of the La Crosse Media Group.